reputation. Our work shapes perceptions, it guides decisions, it fosters relationships. We must learn very fast to navigate uncharted waters with ethical responsibility and a commitment to truth.
Commitment to truth is the primary responsibility of the journalist, and it is also a metaphor of great thought that the pen is mightier than the sword, meaning if the pen is misused, it can bring down an entire nation. The Rwanda experience is still fresh in our memories. The media is also described as the watchdog of the society, an agenda setter for the government. But if the journalist places more attention on item 7 on the agenda instead of the issue at the moment, obviously the watchdog will go to sleep. So, on today's Focus on Political Update, what are the expectations from the journalist by the public in national unity and holding the government accountable on the promises? The brand new president of the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, NIPR, Dr. Ike Iriliako, is on the wings to speak to the issues raised. I am Mie Ogede. You are welcome. The search for a diplomatic solution continues on the unconstitutional military takeover of government in the Niger Republic as President Bola Tinubu had approved the return of a delegation of Islamic leaders to Niger Republic for another round of dialogue with the military junta.
They are part of a series of envoys who succeeded in meeting the Nigerian military junta, who became popular for the unpopular takeover of power in one of the ECOWAS member nations. After continuous effort by the leaders of the bloc, General Abdurrahmane Chane would like to stay 3 years on the seat of power to plan transition back to democratic rule. A proposition against the stand of ECOWAS seeking the immediate release of the ousted elected president Mohamed Bazoum and return to democracy. And so, along other options, the search for a peaceful resolution continues. The Islamic leaders, under the umbrella of Council of Ulama, make a return to the State House. Their reports from the earlier visit presented to the chairman of ECOWAS and considered, but President Tinubu maintains the position of a bloc.
Mr. President, as the head of ECOWAS, is interested in pursuing peaceful resolution of this crisis. But like I said, nothing is off the table. Mr. President has said he should continue to engage, and the ulamas will continue to do that. By the way, he has appreciated their effort to finding solution to this issue. He's encouraging them to continue.
And the volunteers are ready to take another shot at a peaceful solution.
They gave us listening ear, and we are sure through peaceful discussion we'll be able to achieve what we want. And we are still going back there to ensure that through amicable way, through peaceful way, as spiritual leaders, we'll be able to do and contribute what we can be able to do. What we want is we don't want war. We want peace to reign in our region.
They see light at the end of a tunnel, and they are equally ready for the journey toward the light.
And my colleague Fisayo Ogofunye is just back from a press briefing held by ECOWAS. So Fisayo, let's hear from you what were some of the takeaways from that press briefing just about 1 hour ago.
Already, President of the ECOWAS Commission, Alituru, seems to be trying to clarify ECOWAS stance that all options are still on the table to make sure that this impasse in Niamey and the face-off between ECOWAS and the junta there is resolved, not looking at just the military option alone. It's saying that the ECOWAS stance has been misconstrued by some sections of the media, especially the international media, that seem to be goading the community into a face-off, military face-off with Niger. And if if you see the posturing or perhaps the stance of the Niger junta at the moment, we had some messaging from the press earlier today and yesterday talking about perhaps a coalition to push back, talking about Burkina Faso, Mali sending military aid to Niger in resisting any form of aggression. Perhaps that is an allusion to ECOWAS stand, thinking that that could be that ECOWAS trying to get there using military force is imminent. But the president of the commission came out today to say that is not the case. All options are still being explored, especially what is evident is that the leadership of ECOWAS, talking about the authority of heads of state and government currently being headed by Nigeria's president Bola Tinubu, has been looking at every option, including what you just played now, sending Islamic leaders to Niamey and trying to talk to the military authority there to also look at the path of peace and see, put the people of Niger first in all this. The president of the commission was clear in saying that, let me quickly quote, it says that ECOWAS has neither declared war on the people of Niger, nor is there any plan, as it is being purported, to invade that country. That the ECOWAS authority of heads of state and government has only activated a full-scale application of sanctions, which includes the use of legitimate force to restore constitutional order, and never has ECOWAS indicated any form of aggression directly at Niger. It's just to make sure that all options are explored, but it is determined to make sure that the cycle or the spate of coup d'etats, which seem to be a growing trend in the sub-region, is squashed from becoming some kind of hydra-headed monster across the sub-region.
Thank you very much. I think that is elaborate enough. I don't want to even ask further questions. Out of the 15 ECOWAS member states, 14 are against the coup, apart from Cape Verde, that are trying to give some alliance to that of Niger Republic. So, Head of Political Desk, NTA Fisayo Gofie, thank you very much for that update.
Thank you very much.
Let's go to other matters. The strategic role of brand building by the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations will be harnessed by the current administration to inculcate integrity into the citizens. Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris Malagi, at the annual general meeting of the NIPR, reaffirmed that the era of using propaganda in disseminating government policies and programs is gone.
As a fellow of the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations for many years, the function provided an opportunity to rub minds with members of the NIPR on the need to deploy their wealth of experience in providing strategic advice in image and corporate rebranding of Nigeria in order to add value to the government reorientation agenda.
You are aware that the focus of government now is how to restore the confidence of the governed in government and its institutions. You are aware of the vantage and strategic intervention that the communication spectrum can assist tremendously in making the profession more relevant and more focused to achieve national expectations and concentrating on the key issues that predominate our national life today.
The minister acknowledged that current challenges within and outside the country required effective communications and challenged members of NIPR to lead the way.
We are the storytellers, the bridge builders, and the custodians of reputation. Our work shapes perceptions, it guides decisions, it fosters relationships, and extends far beyond the boardrooms. As guardians of reputation, therefore, we must learn very fast to navigate uncharted waters with ethical responsibility and a commitment to truth.
He said the present administration is determined to restore the confidence of the people in democratic governance. In Abuja, Saliu Gwanara, NTA News.
Joining me in the studio is the new president and chairman of Council, Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, Dr. Ike Neliago. Welcome to Political Update.
Thank you very much.
I must say
Thank
congratulations. You. Just about a few hours ago, we elected the president in an annual general meeting of this prestigious institute. So we are looking at the issue of the journalist and national unity, because the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, emphasized the need for you to use your pen to unite the country and not to divide it. What will going to be your task now that you are the president of the institute, and this, I guess, is your first outing on the media?
Thank you very much. Thank you. Actually, I recognize that we're wearing the same color. That's very interesting on a lighter note. I would like to use this opportunity to first thank the immediate past president of the institute, Madam Mukhtar Serajo, who laid the foundation for what we are doing today. The Minister of Information is our brother, he's our own, and somebody who has paid the price, a fellow of the institute and the former chairman of state chapter. Basically, he has started very well. I take note of three things that he said. One, as PR managers, we are storytellers, which is true. We are perception molders, which is true. We are reputation managers. This would then suggest that public relations is not journalism. And it's always very important to differentiate this. Journalism, which in public relations we call media relations, as it were, is actually an essential part of the bigger umbrella of public relations. One of the things that we want to do very quickly is to sanitize the industry, because it begins from there. We have so many quacks, those who are masquerading and parading themselves as public relations experts, reputation managers, and they have no room whatsoever. So the first thing that I would say, which is the mandate of the current council, is goodbye to quacks, because we are going to strictly enforce every aspect of our enabling act that says it's illegal to function as a PR person, public affairs person, corporate affairs person, if you are not registered with the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations. That era is gone, because we will prosecute, we will take every measure to ensure that the industry is sanitized. And speaking on the third element of what the Honorable Minister talked about, the issue of reputation builders. As a matter of fact, in August last year, we had the Citizen Summit for National Integration, Peace and Security. One of the cardinal outcomes of that summit was the need to establish in Nigeria a Nigerian reputation management group, because we realized that reputation is the core asset of every nation, is the core asset of every individual, is the core asset of every organization. So if we don't take the issue of our reputation very seriously, nations will not take us seriously. Many nations that we admire today are built on solid, well-executed, and well-planned strategies of reputation. When they begin to now bring out what has been orchestrated in the kitchen, it will look as if that country is the best in the world. They still have their problems, just like Nigeria. They still have their challenges, just like in Nigeria. They still have their conflicts, just like in Nigeria. But the only difference is that they have learned how to manage their issues in a manner that does not affect the image and the integrity of their nation. So by so doing, they create an impression in people's hearts and a perception of who they want you to take them as. We don't do that in Nigeria. And that's one of the cardinal functions of the proposed Nigerian Reputation Management Group. We are going to bring people from all dimensions of life, all sectors who are going to work with us to ensure that the image of Nigeria is given serious attention. But more importantly, this is now coming from the perspective of citizens' engagement. So it's not government designing. That's what we are proposing. It's not government designing and throwing it at the people.
Are you going to do that through a kind of a public member bill through the National Assembly, or an instrument you are trying to incorporate into the institution?
The Enabling Act gives the institute the authority to design programs. Okay. Once it is approved by the governing council, it goes. That's number one. But you see, in something like this, we cannot do it in isolation of the Federal Ministry of Information and National Orientation in this case, because they are our supervising ministry. And more importantly, now that we have a minister that understands public relations, he eats public relations, he drinks public relations. So we are going to run it through him, and we are going to work very closely with the ministry. And we pray that he will continue to give us that support. We will start first. When the need now arises, we can take it to the National Assembly as a bill. After all the stakeholders have agreed that this is the right way to go and this is what is to be done, then we can now take it to the next level. But now we will start with our instrument of authority. But this
instrument, won't it guard the press? Will it give the press that unfettered freedom? Because we are talking of rebranding the image of the country, outside the country even. But when you don't report some issues, the public will see the media as being pro-government. How would you balance this?
Well, I would like to say at this point that what we are having today is a product of a number of planning that has gone on in the last few years. I'm happy to report that the Nigerian Union of Journalists and the Nigerian Guild of Editors are strategic partners to the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations. They are one of the 93 organizations that partnered with us when we were doing Citizens Summit. And I also want to go a step further to tell you that the president of the Nigerian Union of Journalists is a member, a full-fledged certified member of the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations. So we have been working together. We are going to take this deeper in planning what we want to do in future. We are not going to isolate these two important agencies, NUJ and the Guild of Editors. We are going to work together, design programs together, execute programs together, and evaluate programs together so that we know at what point we are making progress and when we need to make amendments. So it's going to be a total package, and every stakeholder will be carried along. For those who do not know, one of the core functions of public relations is stakeholder engagement, stakeholder identification, stakeholder management. You identify who are your critical stakeholders in anything you're doing, then you design, you map out how to engage with them, then you go a step further to engage with them, and then as you engage, you keep disengaging, de-engaging as the need may arise. So it's not something that will be done in isolation. It's going to be a total package, and we have done this for many years.
It's indeed a good package, just like a newborn baby. The baby may look so beautiful or handsome, but nurturing and taking care of that child to be who he should be is another kettle of fish. But let me ask you, you talk of the issue of goodbye to quacks. Good policy, good statements, many applause from the public. But how would you achieve that? Because the issue of with social media now is like fetching water with a basket. Covering all the holes is indeed is a great task. So how would you achieve that, especially the social media aspect?
Well, I have friends in the military. And one of the things I have learned from them is that a general does not disclose his war strategy in the market. So I will just tell quacks to get ready that we are coming, and they will see us very soon.
Okay, let's take this report, and then if we have 1 or 2 minutes, we'll round off on a very progressive note. The national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, APC Abdullahi Maganduje, says an all-inclusive strategy is being deployed to deepen the commitment of members to ensure a formidable party structure. The national chairman was speaking when he received the secretary to the government of the Federation, George Akume, and Governor Yahaya Bello of Kogi State.
Schedules at the party secretariat had to wait as other matters of priority took the chairman's attention. Now times and moments are fast becoming crucial as he granted audiences to the SGF and Kogi governor on national and party affairs. The meetings held behind closed doors, but the general direction were presented under the lenses of media men. Records were set straight on the post-fear subsidy realities and Kogi off-circle governorship election.
At the end of the day, what is also very important is the enabling environment which is going to be created by this administration to enable all of us express ourselves maximally and efficiently. Palliatives are going round to states. Funds are also released to the states. And so that is why I say more is coming. Don't sleep, more is coming.
We have a very good understanding. And we're planning that the National Campaign Council will be constituted and will be inaugurated very soon. And he is bringing innovation into the Campaign Council this time around.
You saw people in the office, they are there for dialogue, and we assure you very soon we will be in Kogi State and we'll spend some days in order to see that everything is in order. The governor of Kogi State is a very hard-working young man, and we believe he did it before, he will do it again.
The national chairman says the party will focus more on the unity of its members rather than pay attention to issues capable of undermining its impressive records. In Abuja, Abubakar Akwanga, NTA News.
Still with me in the studio is the brand new president and chairman of Council, Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, Dr. Eke. So we just have a minute to round off today's edition of the Political Update. So, President, let me ask this final question. What advice would you give to your bona fide members so that they will going to play their role as the watchdogs of the society and also set an agenda for the government, not just to criticize, but also to remind them of their electioneering promises?
Thank you. PR practitioners all over the country are not watchdogs. They are reputation builders and perception managers. It's very important to always differentiate between what we do and what others do. I already have their mandate to serve, and they have also pledged unflinching support to the vision of our institute under my leadership. I like to tell them to know that better days are ahead. We are going to work together, we are going to relate, we are going to bond in a new way. It's a new dawn for the institute, and we have to work together to ensure that we get the best things for our nation, because the fundamentals of every other thing that we do is that Nigeria remains the best country on earth, the best country on earth. We have challenges. Together we are going to collaborate with government to fix these challenges. I would like to take this opportunity before I go to thank the entire management and staff of the Nigerian Television Authority. This authority has been there for NIPR in the past many years, if I have to put it that way. We don't take these things for granted. We want to appreciate you, and we want to say, please continue to join forces with us in this task of nation building.
Thank you. Thank you very much. That is the president of NIPR, Dr. Ike. Please remember that Imo Kogi Bayelsa elections are coming up November 11. Get prepared. Make sure you vote for the right candidate of your choice. My name is Mia Ogede. Have a wonderful and productive and, of course, rewarding weekend. Thank you.